Welcome to our Cuebric Academy workshop session. We've done a few of these before, and we'll be posting this one on YouTube as well. The other ones you can also find on YouTube. My name is Matt. I'm the community manager, content creator, and social media manager at Cuebric, and today we have Barish here to help us. Feel free to ask us any questions. Barish is our prompt engineer, content creator, and AI experimentalist. Any questions that you have, feel free to
Hey,
post in
people.
either the chat for this stage, or you can use the general chat as well. If we don't get to them live, then I'll follow up with each of the questions afterwards. But other than that, Barish, do you want to start taking it away?
Feels good to be back in our Discord sessions. So today topic is we're gonna talk about how to generate consistent scenes in Cuebric. So there are few ways of achieving consistent scenes. Consistency in a environment is not hard as we think it is. It is not the same thing as like the characters. It can be like it is a whole different situations with the character consistency. But when we talk about the consistent scene generation, we can even handle that with our seed number, as Walter describes it as the DNA of the generated image. So I'm just gonna go and share my screen real quick. So if you didn't notice it yet, we have our new updated UI with our project hub. So that means right now you can save your projects within Cuebric. So basically it will be automatically saved. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create my new project. And let's start with our empty canvas. So yeah, let's call it Cuebric AI Academy. Okay, so it's gonna be 1280 by 720. We can start with that. So as I said, there is a lot of ways of achieving scene consistency. Today I will first show you. Let me load up my prompt. I wrote one for our event today. So you know that I like cyberpunk abandoned factories. So this is of course one of them. And it is a photorealistic cinematic shot of a rusty old abandoned cyberpunk factory. I thought it would be cool if we have some graffiti on walls. So it's gonna be a daylight, so shadows. We want it to be a wide angle shot for now. And I put some sharp focus in here. So for the rest of the details in the prompts, it is the describing the environment's atmosphere. So I kind of want to see industrial decay because it will be a rusty abandoned factory, and we kind of want the desolate atmosphere. And for my negative prompt, I don't want to see any humans on the scene, so I'm gonna put human people. And I don't want to see some text also. We got our standard model up and running. And for the advanced settings, I'm going to go with DDPM, because why not? For the steps, let's push it to 60. And for the CFG scale, I'm going to pump it to 8. Because, you know, let's hit generate. So since these cyberpunk factories, or all of the factories are, I think they are perfect match for consistent scene creation, because, you know, they got a lot of some weird artifacts, like the rust, and so here we go. So since it's a very complicated scene with the details, let's check this out. This one is cool, but also this one is cool because I think I kind of want to pick one that has some tilt angle, because we want to have a consistent scene. In order to achieve that, that means the best way to achieve consistency in an environment is to get all the generations in the one image if it's possible, because since we are giving it a one prompt per generation, and it will giving us a 4 out of this. So as you can see, all of these environments are same kind of looking with the same lighting, same textures, and the same environment. So that means we can some kind of merge them together to achieve some consistency. And we also have our seed number, images seed number in here. We can also copy it or paste it in any other form. And as you know, they are all saved up in my archive, so I can load them back again. And here is the microphone that I generated previously to put in here. So what I will do is first I will go to my resize canvas tool real quick. And for a better regeneration angle, I'm gonna enlarge it to the left side because it can continue with the same wall. And what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go to the generation bag and I'm gonna select generation size. And in this pop-up, as you can see, we have our generation frame loaded up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it smaller, and I'm gonna make some little gap between my freshly generated image and then the generation frame, so I can see the size in here too. Let's give it a little bit more space, and then I'm gonna hit generate again. So what it will do, it will again take the same prompt. I didn't change anything. So we got a question. Galen asks, can you explain why the gap? So since we are kind of trying to achieve a seamless big consistent scene, that's why I'm putting a little gap in here, because in our next steps we are going to use our in painting fill mode to fill that transparent area to achieve that seamless blend. So here we go, we got our generations. This one is cool. So what I'm going to do now, since these two are separate layers, I'm gonna merge them together. So right now, basically I have 2K image in here since we merged it. And now I'm going to use our in painting to fill that transparent part between. So we can always use our mask tool, but in that case, we don't even need that because fill automatically detects the transparent parts, and it will fill that area for us. And we don't even need to write a prompt for it. If you want to have more control over it, of course, you can go for it. So I'm going to change my seed. You don't have to do that. It is kind of my thing that I do it all the times. Because I kind of want it to be, like, the seeds should be really random, you know? Here we go. So the best thing about fill mode is now it is calculating everything in the scene to create a fresh generation for that transparent part to fit in best. Because here we go, we got some wall textures. This is cool. So right now, as you can see, we have the same kind of room, the same environment with it is some sort of like a panoramic view. Yeah. And now I'm going to apply the same steps for the right side to have kind of a third room in generation. I resized my canvas. Here's my generation frame. You can select and unselect it, so it will select the whole generation again, so you don't have to move it around all the way. So I'm just going to drag that part again with a little small gap. Now I think I want to have more gap, because as you see, this one, we had a perfectly small gap in here. So that's why it kind of created a wall-like separator between the generations. So for this one, I think it will be better to have more gap. Let's experiment on this one. So again, I'm going to use our generation and let's hit generate. So again, now it will generate a custom one for the specific size that we gave it in our empty canvas. Here we go. Oh, we got a cool flower graffiti. That's cool. Let's see which one is cooler. Which one do you think suits best, man?
Kind of on the bottom left one looks like the wall lines up a little easier. The top right one is also pretty.
This one?
Yeah. Maybe that one. I like that one. Yeah, I like
this one.
I think
Right.
I'm gonna try to imagine how the inpainting's gonna work with it, and also the lighting seems
Right.
to just match up a little bit with that one as well.
Great. Now I will merge them together again. Here we go. Let's hide this previous one. Okay, let's go to the inpainting again, and let's use the fill mode. So as you can see, since we use the same seed number in all the generations, the basic generations, not the inpaintings, they are looking like the same environment. We are in the same environment with the same light effects. Yeah, here we go. That's cool. We get a cool wall in here too. Ooh, what about that small opening? That all right? Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So my next plan is, I say we add some objects in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get my brush size a little bit smaller. Yeah, that's cool. And I'm gonna brush this area. Again, I'm in the fill mode because since we are trying to add something in the image that is not existing right now, we are going to use the fill mode. If there was an already existed object, I can just go use modify to modify that one. But let's say a post-apocalyptic man. Okay, let's go with it.
Cool.
Let's see what our post-apocalyptic man will look like in this specific environment. So the main thing about filling an not existing image in the generation. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I like that one. Well, let's try to achieve it with modify again. So I'm just gonna go over in here and fill that one too. And I'm gonna change my seed number. Oh, okay, we had the previous one loaded up.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. As I said, the good thing about it is now calculating the entire environment for the light color references. So here we go. Ooh, that's cool. Let's see. We got two people. I like this one, I think. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah. So as you can see, we still have the same light, and even the, let me go to the generation tab to show it better. As you can see, we got some small light coming up from the left side because we have some light on here, and it is like the backlight, you know? So since we are getting it from the top.
Yeah, that works.
So now what I'm going to do is I kind of want to see some sky in here too. I'm not sure how it will fill up the sky, but I just want to see how it will react to the fill with the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly right now it will try to generate a sky. What it means is we have two things that we might see. The first one is we can see a completely new generated sky, and the second thing is it can generate perfectly the interiors, and so it will look like a building from the outside. So let's see how it will react to that. I'm just gonna hide the other ones in the background too. Here we go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That was what I wanted to see.
Yeah,
So we kinda can see the whole environment in a one packed shot, so we can use it as a storyboard, or we can even like slice it into three pieces, and we can move our camera around it so we can have the same environment but with different rooms actually. So that means we are close to achieving that consistency that we are looking for. Let's see what we can select from here. Yeah, this one. This one is cooler.
One too.
Check. Yeah. What we can do is we can put a bigger object in the scene.
Cool.
Middle shot has a bigger area. Let's fill that one. Corroded machinery. I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but let's try to see some corroded machinery. Yeah, we do. Also, that's a thing. Cool. That's like a perfect abandoned factory
Yeah,
stuff.
that's cool.
I'm not sure what they are producing in that factory, but this one is cool. Yeah.
Nothing anymore.
So yeah, for the light in here, as you can see, it is following the light path that we have on the right wall specifically, and the top left corner of that stitched part. So it is getting the top light from the windows that we have here, and as you can see, it is also bouncing from the right wall on that middle part and the right part of the machinery that we have in here. So since I'm kind of trying to achieve a full scene in here, I don't know why, but I want to see a tent in here. But that tent should be a tent that seeing something.
This is.
How we can say that
You could
in
say like a
words.
ripped tent, or you could say a.
Yeah,
destroyed
yeah,
tent.
that's cool. Why not both? And let's see the chaos.
Yeah,
Ripped and destroyed tent. Again, I want to mention about the advanced settings tab. Since we have the same seed number, everything we generate in Paint will have the same consistent kind of look had too. So if you don't want to, oh, our tent is that much destroyed. You don't get to see it. Okay, that's cool.
That is cool. Adds a little bit more of the story to the scene.
Let's see that one too. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Let's see which one is cooler. I'm between these two. Okay, this one is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with this one. So I'm gonna delete my previous scenes that I have in here. Here we go. Okay, that's cool.
Cool.
So for the left side,
left side. What could we put there?
I think we can. I think I'm gonna give it a shot with a random fill roulette.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna write anything in here. I will keep the same seed number, and let's go with that one. And right now we are basically generated a 3K image without upscaling or doing anything. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
We are leaving the factory. That's cool. Ooh, we got some
Your bars are cool.
fence going on in here. Ooh, that's also cool. Matt, I think I'm gonna go with this one. What do you think?
Yeah, it works for me.
We get a question about the seed. If the seed number matches between the image generation and the fill mode, does that help the scene stay more consistent? So basically, image generation and in-painting models are different from each other. So it will be best to keep the generation seed number in the generation size and the in-painting one in the in-painting side. So it will be helpful to keep in mind that if you don't change your seed number in the in-painting, you don't have to manipulate it later, so it will always stay same. But for the image generation part, you can choose between a random one or a consistent one. So once you enter your random seed in here, you don't have to change it anymore. But if I should turn back to the question, they were kind of in a separate way, so you don't have to keep them same. Probably it won't add that much of a difference in the scene. That's cool. We got a cool dog that is closer to the camera. Just like that, we got our first consistent scene. So I'm just gonna zoom it up a bit so I can scroll it. So anything to enhance the storytelling, we are up for it, you know. So that can be helpful to achieve your consistency in your real life shootings or in your storyboards or pre-visualization. So as you can see, we have the same environment. What we did was basically we first created an empty canvas, and then from that side we just staged two other sides, two other brandly generated images each other with a seamless connection, so they kind of have the same lighting, the same tones, and the same vibes. So I'm gonna go back to my projects again, and I'm gonna show you another method to achieve consistency.
Released their new asset library, which has a bunch of awesome generations. I think there's a collection of over 200 in here, and then each of these also have the prompts and all the settings with them too, so you can copy them, and then soon there'll be a button to take them and drag them directly into your scenes too, and into your Cuebric projects.
Yep. You can just copy the link of it, or you can just download it for right now, or you can copy even the details and start creating the same one yourself. The good thing about asset library is, so for example, if you don't want to have a man in this scene, or for example, let's switch to that one. So as you can see, it's a wide angle shot of a school interiors, corridor of a school with lockers. So, but it has a red lighting, red ambience. What you can do is you can, so since you know that you already have the style and you know what will the prompt look like if you hit generate, so you can just go and change some prompts. For example, you can say blue lights instead of eerie red lights. You can get the same vibe with the same settings, but with the different combinations. You can even change the environment if you just like how the filter looks over it. So yeah, it is very useful in that sense. You can also use it by um, changing to see the different models that we have in here. Or the categories like landscape, urban, architecture, interior, and fantasy. We are also planning to add some 3D and 2D segmentations or different images in or models in here too. So let's create our scene again. So recently I see a lot of questions about how we can generate a perfect room. So because sometimes you can see some weird angles that you don't want to see even you write it in a negative prompt. So what we can do is I'm gonna make my canvas smaller. So it's a 1-to-1. I'm gonna just name it room and let's create our canvas. So since we have a smaller generation size right now, the so the model will understand the prompt better. I will just give it a photorealistic shot of a messy room, big window in the middle, low angle shot. And since we have a big window in the middle, we kind of wanted to see a scenery from outside the window. That can be maybe New York cityscape on the background. I'm gonna use the DPM again. And this time let's push it to 80. And I'm gonna push this one to the 8. So the generation will have more details. I don't wanna have negative prompts right now. So let's review our prompt. And I'm gonna use some moody in here. It can be cool. Let's hit generate. Great, so we got our generation. I can say that it's a messy room. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna pull the size in here. And I will just use the fill mode right now. I'm not gonna write anything to see what we gonna see in here. So this is a very similar method to the previous one, but right now we are giving all the computation to the AI itself because we are not giving it any prompt or we are not generating some custom environment for it. Yeah, here we go. This is also a cool angle. It feels like you're entering a room.
That's awesome.
So what I will gonna do is I'm gonna change the view outside the window.
Cool.
To be able to achieve that. I'm gonna mask the whole scene, the whole part that we have windows, and I will not gonna mask the right one. So let's go with so in my understanding and my workflow, I usually start with a small partition of the image because you don't need to write everything in a one descriptive maximalist prompt, or you can just have a small part of the image that you want. So that means we can just give it a go with, like we did in here. We just typed a messy room, right? So I kind of trying to see what the messy room looks like in the AI's mind. That's why I start with a smaller part. And then I enlarge my canvas using other AI tools that Cuebric has, because as I said, for my understanding, the best outcome you can achieve is like you need to do combos with the different tools. For example, you can merge image generator with canvas resizing with the in painting. That's the ultimate combo that you can have.
Gotcha. Cool.
So weirdly, I kind of want to see a desert outside. I don't know why. A desert landscape outside the window. So since we already have our window in here, I'm just gonna use modify. I mask the area and write my prompt, and then I hit generate. I think this one is cool. You can see how it follows the vibe of the whole room, because we got some dirty sheets in here, dirty curtains, and the frame looks kind of like the window frame is the same color with the environment, and this was the previous result, as you can see. And the good thing also, it doesn't mess up with the angle that you have previously, so it still has the consistent angle, but as you can see now, we kind of can see part that we have the desert and the New York City cityscape on the right side.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna give it a better high angle in here, and I'm gonna say a broken ceiling, and I'll give it a shot with sky. I'm trying to achieve a look where we can see some maybe some light coming up from the top with the sky is visible from the broken ceiling. And you can see how I describe it with only like 3 words: broken ceiling and sky. So here we go. That's the exact thing that I wanted to see, but we got some other cool designs too. I think this one is cool too. So as you can see, we got a seed number for the fill mode, and we didn't change it from the entire time. We only changed or write our prompts for the things that we want to see in the screen. And that's the easiest way, or the best way that we can achieve consistency while generating environments.
Cool.
So since we have some kind of a shot right now with some like wide angle, I kind of want to see the bottom part of the room. So I'm gonna hide the other ones, and I'm not gonna write anything this time too. And I'm gonna generate. And for the other parameters for the inpainting that are useful is we got some blending feature, so you can play around with the blending pixels. So it is not gonna be a visible thing that you can see, but if you move it up to like 30 or 50, that means your mask gonna get bigger in the background, so it will blend more perfectly. So as you can see, it took similar texture from the ceiling and applied it to the ground. I think this one is also cool, but yeah, that's good.
Thank you guys once again all for coming and joining. Also, let us know as well what kind of other topics you would like us to cover potentially with Cuebric. Barish handling a lot more of the prompting, a lot more of the scene generation aspects of it, and then I would like to do a lot more of the taking those generations and doing other stuff with them, and making more videos and more kind of produce things out of them. So if you have any questions or any topics, feel free to put them in the Cuebric general chat. But yeah, thank you guys all for being here a lot.